I'll give one Siri story.
Sure.
That I think is kind of funny. We were a startup and that was acquired by Apple. And the original Siri did all these domains. You could say, find restaurants or get the weather or get my flight information, whatever. 15 different domains. But we saw early on that people wanted to ask Siri other questions like, Siri, do you love me? Siri, what color are your eyes? Siri, whatever. Which is not the 15 domains or the things, the functional things we were anticipating. So I had written these little handlers, kind of like, yeah, get back to work, kind of like, pretty boring answers, but I had to have handlers because people would ask these questions. The system needed to say something. So then we go to Apple, and we had the idea of sprinkling surprise and delight into the system. So the idea was, you wouldn't just say, if you said, what's the weather? It wouldn't just say it's raining or it's going to rain tomorrow. It would say it's going to rain tomorrow. Don't forget your galoshes. Like you would add a little extra spice, a little extra humanness or, surprise and delight into the interaction. So we hired a guy whose job was to go through our functional domains and sprinkle in a little, what we call delight nuggets. And he came across all of my handlers for these funny, and he goes, well, none of these responses are funny. And he just cleaned them up. And so the surprising thing is that when Siri launched on Apple's phones, Apple was not aware of all of the personality and humor and funny things that was in Siri. Because the QA, like all of the spreadsheets testing, we need to test this and test that, and was all about weather and timers and maps and whatever. So no one was testing or really thinking about those between the cracks moments. So Siri came out and someone said, what color are your eyes? Or will you marry me? And then all of a sudden Siri said something funny and people loved it. And it went viral. And so on late night TV shows, David Letterman, all this kind of stuff, they're talking to Siri and what cool things can you make Siri? And Apple freaked. They had no idea this was in there. They like to control their message.
Yeah.
And this was like coming out of the blue. So in a way, it was an accident. It was me who had written these little handlers. Someone else came along and sprinkled in funny responses. No one was really aware, but it really made Siri, right? And part of the reason it went viral, I think, was because of that humor and character that it had. And then the next 2 quarters, the next 6 months, just selling the iPhone 4S, which was the iPhone 4 plus Siri, Apple broke every profit margin record. Their stock price almost doubled. They passed Exxon to become the most valuable company in the world. So in a way, you could say this was sort of like a happy accident to your question that wasn't exactly anticipated or planned for, and Apple didn't even know it was in there. And yet, boom, through the roof sales, margins, and fame. There's an example of sort of an unexpected, happy accident side effect that changed the world.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that clip. And if you did, go ahead and click the link in the description below to check out the full interview to keep those creative gears turning. Remember to click the notification bell, comment below, and subscribe to this channel for more amazing, thought-provoking interviews. I'm Shaun J, and welcome to the Making Magic Podcast.